Greetings. Good morning. Greetings, everyone. So, today is Friday, and Friday is the day that is ruled by Venus. One of my girlfriends is coming in to join to have a conversation. But before she gets here, I just want to say Venus is the day that I asked for reciprocity. And really, it's Venus is about how we restore ourselves. Okay, she's here. Yay. Okay, Tamika, you have to ask to join. You have to maybe you probably already know how to do it. You're more technical than I am. You're more technically inclined than I am. I'll say it that way. So you have to that little camera at the bottom with the plus sign. You have to push it. Um, so Venus is Friday is the day that I asked for reciprocity, right? So if you benefit from this work, from the things that I offer here, if what I am doing is supporting your evolution, then I am asking if you feel inclined to give back to what you get from, to give back from to what you receive from. Hey Tamika, how are you?
Hey, Monique.
Good morning. So I was just having my reciprocity Friday conversation really quickly. So because as you know, Venus is about how we restore ourselves, and Venus governs money, it governs our relationships, it governs how we feel about ourselves, our self-esteem, our value. All of that is what Venus is about. And and on Fridays, I ask people to either share how they benefit from the work that I do here, or they can donate at Cash App, $ Monique Ruffin, or at Venmo, Monique-Ruffin. And I appreciate everything you do. So I just want to say thank you for that. Like, because you guys are here, then I'm here. It's as simple as that. And, it's so interesting because as much as I love this, like lately, whatever's going on in the world, there's a part of me that's feeling a little bit of resistance around around I don't know, I just feel resistance. So I'm working through that as well. So thank you everyone in advance, and I appreciate you and I appreciate everything you offer and everything. I appreciate the exchange. Let's say it that way. I appreciate the exchange. Thank you. So thank you, Tamika, for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited about this conversation.
Absolutely. It's a great conversation. So, first of all, tell everyone about you, who you are.
Well, I'm Tamika Thomas. My writer name is Omika Ayama. I'm a body transformation coach, really a force here to help us move forward and progress in humanity. I'm evolution oriented, and I'm ready to merge what we have ancestrally accomplished in with a new day. So really a spiritual guide is what I'm here to do in this lifetime, and it's centered around body transformation. Yes.
Thank you for that. And yes, it is a really deep work that you do,
Mm-hmm.
and I benefit from it. I
Mm-hmm.
benefit from it so much. So I'm very deeply grateful for you. So today is a Venus day, and we're in Black History Month, and I love there. I've been hearing conversations about Black futurism and just different ways of looking at our experience. And I wanted to talk about Black History Month from this experience of being Black in this body, and how do we actually restore ourselves, because that's what Venus is about. It's really about restoring ourselves. And I feel like restoration is about understanding kind of the depths of what we've endured, so that we can understand that we actually need to do something to restore ourselves. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
feels like what's happening still in our country, or in most Black communities and Black families, is that we're still functioning in an old narrative, an old way of being, and we've not some of us, it's starting to become a thing, right? But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
how do we really understand what it means to restore ourselves when we have never really known ourselves in our strongest state.
That's it. What is our strongest state? For me, it's like we've left so much on the table about ourselves. We leave so much on the table when it comes to power, when it comes to ability, when it comes to moving forward. We are literally trapped in a narrative that we did not write. And there's stories of empowerment, there are experiences of empowerment that will move us forward if we will take the time to come out of those old narratives and those old stories. But what it's really about for me is look at our bodies. How in the fuck? Like our bodies are so freaking powerful that we are holding eons of information. We've
Yes.
been on this planet for so long. And if you have highly melanated DNA, your resources within your DNA is very in-depth and innate to accomplish anything. But how do we go about unwinding ourselves from the dream of trauma and waking up from the nightmares of this happening again and begin to walk forward? That conversation is really solely left within the power that we hold. For me, it's within the power that we hold within ourselves. Just the idea of being a slave and being told that at such a young age. And your family may have been from the most prominent of prominent families historically, but you wouldn't know that. You know, there are scientists locked within our bodies. There are historians locked within our bodies. There's so much. And if we could just start to breathe, just regular, basic, get back our rhythm, use your rhythm. Breathe again. Use your creativity. Breathe again. You step into some artistic expression. Breathe again. We are holding, literally, it's like we're just holding our breath, waiting for the next shoe to drop, and it's not there. We're free, y'all. Anybody on this call, anybody to look, we free. It's done. It's over.
Yes.
But this is within your consciousness. And as long as you physically believe that this is going to happen, this dream is going to awake to it again and again. Guess what? We're going to wake up to this dream again and again. But if you can come within yourself and create new stories, new narratives of the future, and within your present moment, be intentional now, today. Set your own soul free.
Yes.
Within yourself. You have it. We are all the messiahs that we read about and we go to looking for answers. You are the messiah. You have things. So I'm here to ring the bells today, to sound the fucking trumpet, to sound the alarm. Come on, my children. Come on. We got it. We can do it. Come on out and play a little bit. It's okay.
Yes.
Where, just being locked in trauma is so debilitating.
Yes.
It's just so
And
debilitating.
it's a real thing to understand that, like, so you and I have both been doing the deep work to free ourselves, right?
Yes.
And personally how tenuous it is, how deep it
Yes.
is, how private it is, but you also know how rewarding it is. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like the work that you're doing to restore your own consciousness and restore your own power into yourself.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice. It's sacrificial, to be honest, and it's painful. It's isolating. It's you judge yourself in so many ways about why you're choosing to be what I call I have an Aries rising. So it's my duty, it's my job to charge out and
Yes.
create new ways of being. And that impulse to do that is so alive within myself that it's caused my life. I used to sacrifice myself, literally drag myself through very tumultuous, challenging, just choices that will put me into spaces just so I could see myself get out, step into another flow again, and come back into that space again, sit in
Yes.
it, be tumultuous, lose every fucking thing physically, be afraid to speak out, really share with people what my experiences is, what's happening within me.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through a lot of misunderstanding, anxiety, social anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
and had to dig all of that up. My
Mm-hmm.
mother wound was so deep, right? Like in my planetary makeup, my mother has a connection to my subconscious.
Yes.
So learning for the last 10 or 15 years has been about me literally thinking my own thoughts,
Yes.
like
Yes.
having my own experience within my consciousness because I had mimicked the fabric of my mom.
See?
But
Yes.
I told myself I wasn't going to be like her.
Mm-hmm.
I charged out into the world and went a different path.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
in every way, I was running the program consciously. I could say out of my mouth superficially all day, da 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 da. Da. But I
Right.
was running that maternal program for so long. And to do the work, it's not about something that you're going to come out into the public and get all these accolades about.
Mm-hmm.
It's not accomplishment driven. There is no destination that you could work towards. You don't
Yeah.
have goal sheets and to-do lists. You're
Mm-hmm.
literally in the dark,
Mm-hmm.
figuring out how to unfold and unwind and untether yourself, your soul, from all those things that you were taught either in your familiar space, in society, in your educational process, in your own making of stories.
Mm-hmm.
And that process is the reward on the other side is freedom.
Mm-hmm.
My bank account doesn't matter. My life and the reflecting of how my life looks in comparison to what I've achieved internally,
Mm-hmm.
according to man's standards, doesn't look like that.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't have a sheet to tick off. I bought the house. I made six figures. I don't have a tally sheet to go by. I
Mm-hmm.
have to feel rewarded within myself. I have to know that every time I think a new thought and have an experience within my consciousness that's so much more powerful to have the accolades of thousands of people with their name in my mouth, in their mouths, my
Ooh.
name in their mouths. So
Yes.
I would rather be a consciousness memory where
Mm-hmm.
you remember something.
Mm-hmm.
You have those aha moments, and I initiate that because I had an aha moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I want to be remembered. And that's the reward for me, is to watch humanity move forward and progress and evolve right here in front of my eyes. And I see the next
Mm-hmm.
space that we're moving into. I see the freedom. I stand at the gates of that new conscious space, welcoming everyone in. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yay, we're getting here. That's my reward. That's my
Yes.
reward. When I read an article about something in medical world, it's now discovering that we've known for years. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, yay, they're catching up. That's my reward. Yeah. That's how I am rewarded. But it's very, and the direction I'm moving into
Mm-hmm.
to honor myself in certain ways environmentally, like I'm moving into more of a space where I will live more around honoring myself and to
Mm-hmm.
get to that space to where I could actually create that needed work to,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
yeah. So
The,
it's highly internally rewarding more than I could say externally.
yes. The thing that I really appreciate about listening to you is that Aries energy, that Aries rising, right? And one of the reasons I love astrology is because astrology is the map. It
Mm-hmm.
tells you how you best function. And when you follow it, when you follow the map that is your astrology, your consciousness will evolve because this is
Mm-hmm.
ultimately a consciousness conversation. We can only shift the external reality by going within ourselves.
Exactly.
And the Aries energy, similarly, kind of a little bit like Aquarius energy, it's like you don't have a blueprint. You have to make it. You have to you have to create it from within yourself, and that means you
Mm-hmm.
have to trust yourself.
Yes.
You have to love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing to stand up fearful and crying and take the action anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yes.
Aries energy is no fucking joke.
It's an ass whooper is what I call it, man. It's like, and it won't let you go. You can, like, I've tried to go off into another world and play behind the scenes and like, oh no. But then when I do that, I end up that's when the self-sacrifice would come back around and tag me. It's like, oh, you don't want to let it out? So you just gonna keep burning yourself. Just keep burning yourself. And when I learned how to work with, like, literally, I read one day that Aries, trailblazer. It was just one word, trailblazer. And I got a visual of it. And I was like, oh shit, I accept that. That's what I've been up to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I can do. And once I brought that into myself, oh my gosh, the acceptance and the ability to just kind of be at peace with my
Yes.
power, because I'm afraid. I've been afraid that I'm going to torch this whole earth. Like, I'm going to blow it all up. No, I'm going to kill people. No, I can't go out there and do that. That's going to take out a lot of humans if I do that. Like, it's been scary. It's been
Yes.
scary as fuck. Like, because it's just not like right now I want to go into the science world because my Aries rising is like, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Tamika, go. Like,
Yeah.
Tamika, go. They don't know. So it's like, but then I'm like, well, how do you know what you're talking about? Like, where does it begin? But that's the impulse I need.
Right.
That there's something new to be discovered.
Yeah.
And that's the Aries rising, that there's something new to be experienced and established here. So let me blaze a trail within consciousness. It's
Yes.
not been very physical world for me. I've been steeped in my internal worlds, really trying to figure out how can we move just tick one more notch up and move it again. And a lot of it is very simple. It's expressing love within myself,
Mm.
being gentle with myself, stop beating myself up. It's been very like basic
Mm-hmm.
things
Mm-hmm.
that I've had to rewire and then share with the world. Like, hey, we don't have to do it this way. And
Mm.
that has been so rewarding. Like my biggest thing I want to share here is you don't have to sacrifice yourself.
Mm.
Monique and I have done it. I know her story and I know my story. And there have been enough humans on this planet that have done the work.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, absorb and accept the power and allow yourself to have a little bit more of an ease within your life
Mm-hmm.
based off of the wisdom that has been carved out from our ancestors and from us who are doing this work. We are solely doing this work so that you can come. I literally feel a chariot of people behind me. Like I'm like on a chariot and I'm
Yeah.
like riding. And I have
Yeah.
millions of people behind me that I'm responsible for opening this path for.
Mm-hmm.
And so once you take your path into new spaces and places, find the gentle seeds that we've left. Find the reservoirs of love that have been left behind. Find those oases that look like in the middle of a desert within your consciousness that allow you to drink and nourish
Yeah.
from a fountain it's not visible.
Yes.
And that's what we've done. It's an inner plane world that's
Yeah.
available to you, that there are many masters and many angels and many ancestors that like literally live in this space just to nourish you, just to
Yes.
allow yourself to restore, allow yourself to regenerate. You know, they come through dreams, they come through visions, they come through images and our creativity. And so um, it's my work quietly and silently. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be known. I just quietly and silently
Mm-hmm.
to push us forward, with this power that and it's at first I was angry with the world
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to destroy, be very destructive. And I've figured out how to be in good destruction, you know,
Yes.
yes, and how to be good evil and how to
Yes.
be a good balancer of
Yes.
energy
That's
because
right.
it's from a space of love. And I am the grandmother that taps your hand, doesn't necessarily want to do it. I'm sad we had to get here, but we got to go. I am the Harriet that put guns to the people's head. Like, bruh, no, you're not gonna tell my fucking business. No, no, we got to go.
Right.
So it's that energy that I adore about myself, and it's taken me a long time to even sit here, Monique, and express it to you and
Mhm.
understand it.
Yeah.
Um, and I share it solely for the purpose of you, you, and
Hmm.
you, knowing that that inner plane is open when you're ready to enter and take journeys that you've never been on before. The synchronicities and the aha moments and the
Yeah.
way life plays out for you when you step into this space is magical as fuck.
It really is. And
Yeah.
what I didn't understand before was that, like, my solutions always come from the inner world. And
Mhm.
I used to resist that. I used to be pissed off. I used to be like, I want some external thing. I would be so pissed off. But then I started realizing, like, you cannot change your face by wiping the mirror. You cannot do it that way. The
Mm.
mirror is the illusion. It's the Maya. The external world is the Maya. So when you go in, and so literally it's like I can go in and annihilate the parts of me that participate. And
Yes.
then that draws the energy from the external world. It
Yes.
literally, so we literally begin to take our power back by shifting where we are putting our attention inside of ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And as we do
Mm-hmm.
that, it actually then does change the external experience.
Yes.
And it's like a bit of a mind fuck because it's like, oh, did I do that from
It,
inside of myself?
I went through years of, I can say I spent about 7 or 8 years in that space. Am I really doing this? Is this really happening? Is
Right.
that real? Like
Yeah.
literally in the is that real space. I would think about something, a car accident that I had. I had a car
Yeah.
accident one time. And every time that I thought about the car accident, this is how spirit worked with me. Spirit,
Mhm.
it's really not fucking funny though. I don't appreciate it. But
Yeah.
I spent myself driving on a highway and picturing myself having an accident. I
Yeah.
knew within those moments that it was dangerous to do that. I
Mhm.
had been in car accidents and accidents. I attract accidents, Aries rising shit. And
Yeah.
so I know my energy and I know my makeup. So I know I have to be careful here well before my care around the physical world. So my mother attempted to try and teach me safety and
Mhm.
security and how to be cautious physically. That
Yeah.
didn't work for me. I
Yeah.
literally almost killed myself over and over again. I had to create it within myself and how to know how to do that. And the
Yes.
first idea around it was the use of my mind. And Spirit had to show me how the use of your mind works. Okay, I'm riding around for like 2 years, seeing myself hit in different spaces. And it was very sporadic, these visions. But the
Mhm.
day it happened, the day the consciousness all collided down into that reality,
Mhm.
every time I thought about it, the moment I got hit, every time I thought went toot, 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 in my mind.
Yes.
And I literally said, you created this. I need you to understand how you created this. And in this moment, I done been T-boned. The car is done spun in the street. But in my internal world, I literally have been taken into a whole nother space to
Mhm.
say, this is how powerful your consciousness is.
Yes.
Look at how you created. And it took time. Yes, you staved it off for some time,
Yes.
but you wanted it so bad.
Yeah.
You see how you wanted it? You
Yes.
see how you desired it to happen?
Woo!
And it came about.
You willed it into
You
existence.
willed it into existence. So I can't even really look at man's clock and calendar and say 2 years or whatever. It could have been a day and time for consciousness,
Yes.
So, but I put enough energy into that pot of getting hit and having a car accident.
Right.
That's the trauma that lives within my body. What do I get to do? I
Yeah.
get to do the work within my body
Yes.
to release that trauma, to release the accident, thing that
Yes.
so-called Aries has to deal with. No,
Yes.
I can find the path out of that. And
Mm-hmm.
what I've learned is that if I try to live my life like anybody else,
Mm-hmm.
that's the accident.
Oh
That's
my
a whole
God.
accident for me. It's a
That's
crash.
right.
It's death. It's just not good for me.
That's right.
It's not. It creates stagnation within my
You
body.
have to be
And
the pioneer. You have to
I
be the
have
pioneer
to
and the
be,
trailblazer.
and I've cried about being a pioneer. I've
Yes.
looked at my energy and literally felt afraid of her, of who that full expression is. And I
Yes.
literally have to slowly walk her into existence
Yes.
because I'm still like, sometimes when I go into my energy, I break down in tears. Like,
Yes.
not from fear, but just like, oh shit, the
Yes.
glory of that. Damn,
Woo.
the power in that.
That's
Wow. And that's what I move towards,
yes.
to have enough influence and
Mm-hmm.
enough voice
Yes.
to say a few words, give some practical, guidance from my space, tell a story,
Mm-hmm.
and it gives a quantum leap experience to someone else.
Mm.
With time comes another one
I
because
mean,
I
I
know.
I work with you, so
Yeah.
I know.
Yes.
Like, let me tell you all, right? So I like to tell the story because a few people have come on, and I like to tell like why, right? So Tamika is like all my flyers, the organization I have with all the work that I do, like the day to day of it. Like
Mhm.
like Dr. Monica told me what to do and set me off on the vision, right? But you are with me in the day to day. What about
Mhm.
this class? What about this? Have you thought of this? Here's do this, right? Because we need each other and we can't do this
Yes.
stuff alone. But
Hmm.
Tamika has the pioneering vision, not only for herself, but everyone that she works with,
Hmm.
setting people out in a different path to do what their soul is calling them to do. And
Yes.
she has this ability to see it. Like she can see you and feel you and know exactly, like she knows you better than you know yourself. You know how your mama take your diapers off and your mama wiped your ass and cleaned up like like that, you know what I mean? Because you're a mother, you know what I mean, right?
Yes.
Like, and it's like there. I don't know anybody else the way I know my son, and I will know him that way forever. I
Yes.
used to kiss the bottom of his feet so that I would be able to say to him one day when he tried to buck up on me, "Little boy, I kissed the bottom of your feet." Like I used
Hmm.
to put your toes in my mouth. Sit down. I don't do that, but I need to have some. I need to have some ammunition. But my point is that Tamika really has this ability to see the clarity. You have Aries rising, but that Cancer energy inside. That Cancer is, and that
Hmm.
Pisces moon. Like you can get into the details of things and
Hmm.
project another reality that others can't see, but you can. So I just want to say who you are and how, the work that you do in the world and how you
Thank
support
you.
yourself and others because I couldn't do what I do without you.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. And you've helped me so much to realize who I am. Because I just do it. And then Monica's been like, girl. So I appreciate you so much in this walk that we do together. It's such a powerful, this is relationship for me.
Yeah,
I have my North and South node are about relationship, about getting into what love really looks like and feels like and how I express it for myself and how I receive it and all of that. And having relationships that we have
yeah,
helps me to be in new spaces. We have a progressive, evolved relationship that the average
yeah.
human doesn't experience. And it's just beautiful. I love supporting you and I love the work that we do together and how powerful it impacts the world. So thank
Thank you.
you.
I thank
Mhm.
you. You're welcome and thank you. And so, when I hear you talking about your vision and how you show up, like I experience it. And so I just want to, it's important for us as people who are in melanated bodies to really begin to see other people who are doing it in a different way.
Yes.
We are moving into the age of Aquarius. I feel like I'm going to cry. Like we really are moving into this different age.
Mm-hmm.
And we have so much opportunity if we are willing to take responsibility for ourselves and ask some different questions and do this thing in a different way. And let me tell you, God bless all the leaders who came before us, who had foresight, who struggled, who
Mm-hmm.
died. God
Mm-hmm.
bless them. Thank you. We stand upon their shoulders. We could not do what we're doing without them.
Mm-hmm.
And the path that they laid or saw is really not the path that we're on, because they didn't know that we were coming into a new age. They did
Mm-mm.
not know because they didn't understand the technology and the astrology, because that was not available. Most of us been reading the Bible, and the Bible has not been translated in the way, even though the Bible is an incredible, it has all the information in it,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But the way we've been communicating it and translating it was leading us back into the old systems.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so what we're doing now is really understanding that we are the Christ.
Yes.
We don't need to deify somebody outside of us.
Mm-mm.
That is the greatest thing. There is no deity above you. It's all inside of you.
Yes.
The Jesus that you're looking for is in you. In the mirror, go look in the mirror. That's where you will find Jesus, in the
Mm-hmm.
mirror, right? And so let's talk. Tell me about your own relationship with Christianity, because you have. Girl, I can have church with you, and I just.
So I grew up in church, and I grew up in holiness church. I'm talking about church where you had church. And I had a dual experience there,
Mhm,
and half of it was, this is true. What's happening?
mhm,
I have a lot of questions, and the other half was the power, the energy. I mean, to watch someone come up into a choir stand and pick up a mic and open their mouth, and their mouth is only open like that much, and they've only said about 3 or 4 words, and the whole church fall the fuck out. I used to be in awe. I used to be like, what in the hell? Or you got that one deacon that prays that prayer, and everybody fall the hell out. Like, it just was like, what in the hell? And I could feel it.
yes, that's
Feel
right.
somebody getting up and having a testimony, and they begin to cry. I would then be placed into their experience. I could feel their hurt. I could feel their pain, and I could feel the triumph of moving through that thing. So I had this dual experience. And so when I got into my early 20s, though, it became where I couldn't ignore the, what's this? What's happening? So I found myself in a very mega church here in Atlanta. And the
Mhm.
pastor had a nerve to come down the aisle one day with them folks carrying him up on a chair, like exalted. And I was just like, no, this is not where I'm supposed to be. Something isn't right. I had prayed to the sun, like if this isn't, like if this not true, just lead me on the right path. Like I was doing that kind of thing, looking up in the sky, like anybody out here, like looking at the grass. Somebody, can you tell me something? And when
Yeah.
I walked away from church, I began to read. Of course, we began to ask questions and explore. But church never left me, no matter how
Mhm.
far I walked away. No matter how around a bend I went around this bend, I walked into this forest, I read about Buddha, I read about Allah, I even read about Sir Laga and all these other deities and all these other religions. And then it hit me, okay, man has just been expressing himself about this higher power for a very, very long time. And we
Mhm.
have some ancestral works that have just stuck around. Okay, I figured that out. But the scripture, the word, never left my heart. I will be in moments, and the scripture that will match that moment, it just comes to my heart. I came into adult initiation, and it was adult initiation that allowed me to appreciate Christianity, because it was adult initiation that opened my eyes to see the
Mhm.
truth in scripture. I began to understand the resurrection process as literally an allegory story, and I began to see. how that happens within ourselves. I
Yes.
began to understand what Jesus was really relaying in his message when he said that very few will believe you. And as you see now, we sit here and we tell you about a place where
Mm-hmm.
there's no more sickness, there's no more pain, there's no more hurt. It's some physical place that's within your own being, within your own consciousness. And you arrive there through a journey
Mm-hmm.
that only you can take. So to know what these ascended masters was talking about, especially Jesus, and him understanding the being a child and being a creation upon this planet, in this plane, and
Mm-hmm.
how it works, you know, to understand that love is the way, to understand that everything physical is literally a projection from inside of me.
Yes.
These are the things that are in the Bible. It's
Yes.
coded, and you have to unravel it. You have to sit with it, allow it. So what happened was the scripture set within me,
Yes.
and it lived.
Mm-hmm.
Mom asked me when I left the church, "Why are you leaving the church? You need to be in church." I told my mom that God is everywhere. The church is this earth.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere I lay my feet, if I have a word for someone, I'm ministering. I'm
Mm-hmm.
at church. I don't need four walls. And I still live that to this day. I want to travel the world just to walk up to people, just
Mm-hmm.
to smile at someone, just
Mm-hmm.
to show love
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
Jesus did.
Yes.
Not for a purpose of a laundromat of money and all these businesses and boss this. No, I want to feel the impact of being human and
Yes.
sharing light and love. The story of Nazareth, to understand the story of Nazareth, when he went into Nazareth and all those sick people were better within his presence.
Yeah.
Everyone felt better in his. Guess what? You
Yeah.
have the power to do that.
That's
You
right.
people saying now, oh, I got to watch my energy and I got to really, you can't just be anywhere. That's a
Right.
lie. You
That's
can
right.
change the whole fucking. I've done it. I will walk in a place and change the whole fucking vibe as soon as I step in, and I might not even know it. You do the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yes. That's
You're
right.
rooted, and you're rooted in love, and you're rooted in being a real creation upon this planet, breathing, living, feeling.
Yes.
I would say this: don't allow the five senses to get you too caught up. Go beyond what you see and what you hear. Allow them to become psychic. There's so much
Yeah.
more to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't physically see well, guys,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but I could see. I could
Mm-hmm.
see future images in my mind. And I know purposely that my physical sight is the way it is purposely because this reality isn't for me to see. I've had to tap out because when I was tapped in, I believed it so much that the higher powers, my higher self in this direction that it wanted to give me, I couldn't hear.
Yes.
I was placed in silence so I could hear and
Yes.
see and feel in a whole new way. I was reading this, I'm going to share this too in
Yes.
connection with Christianity. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of science about us,
Mm-hmm.
the way biologically, the way we're set up that we are not aware of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're electrical magnetic beings. And this is the type of information that was really in the Bible
Mm-hmm.
about being set up to energetically have dominion within
Yes.
us. But
Yes.
we've taken it so literal that we feel that it's something that is actually physically that needs to occur within the physical matter of the world.
Yes.
And it's that higher entity within us is getting us to want to see that, no, come back in,
Yes.
come sit with the Father, come sit
Mm-hmm.
with the Mother, and allow yourself to be a child within this creation. This planet is too beautiful for us to be acting the way we act. It don't make no sense to me to have this
Yes.
beautiful planet and we don't have the freedom. Like the planes should have been created just so people can pile up on the planes and go see a red and blue and black beach. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just like we should just be giving of this beauty.
Because there's
And
so much
there's
abundance.
just so much.
That's absolutely right.
I mean, it should be wired in a way and
Yes.
consciously set up in a way that's so giving and receptive,
Right.
like a oscillation of
We're on our
energy.
way there. We're on our way
Yes,
to. We're on our way
we
to it.
are.
And I say, if we don't get ourselves there, she's gonna kick us off.
That, yes.
If we don't get ourselves there, she is going to, because she's a living being, and she is going to kick us off if we don't do what we're supposed to do. And many of humans have been kicked off before. Just to be clear, like
Thousands.
that, like
Wipe them
have
all
been,
out.
that's like
Hmm.
humanity has been wiped out entirely before.
Hmm.
We're just not taught this. We're just not told the truth about this earthly experience.
Yeah.
Generation, like gone.
Right. She will only leave a number of
That
people to restart
that's right.
humanity. That's it.
That's
Only
it.
a few thousand. And you're not even together. You're sporadically all over the planet. You don't even know. So, and then we start over again. Can we
That's
not
right.
have to start over again? Because we've
Right.
come so far. We've
That's
come so
right.
far. And I really just feel like the awness and the beauty. If we can, that's the restoration. That's
Yeah.
the lover. That's the Oshun.
Yeah.
That's this energy of, being in the aesthetics of the body and the aesthetics of this space and
Hmm.
appreciating it in a
Yes.
way that's evolutionary,
Yeah.
that just that simpleness, just taking in this earth in a way. She wants
Yeah.
to be adored.
That's
She
right.
wants to be covenant,
Right. That's
and
right.
exalted and played upon.
That's
And
right.
if we could just get into that newness and move in
Yes.
that space. And I have that thought just so, again, it can ripple out into
Yeah.
consciousness and we begin to, see how that can come about.
Hmm. Let me
Mhm.
tell you all, I have been in spaces with Tamika on the earth, and she will just put her hands and on the earth and just start praying for the earth and the holiness church. I'm like, come on, man. Like literally just in worship with this natural space
Mhm.
and understanding our connection to it, that we are our own bodies are the earth, and we're connected. There is a oneness, there's a vibratorial frequency that aligns us. That's why I often tell women, when you're still having your period, when you're still bleeding,
Mhm.
take that blood and give it to the earth. Take it every single month and give it to the earth, because you align your energetic frequency with the earth when you give your essence to her. And then she it's like she's never forgotten you, but she remembers you in a new way,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Because you're every month you're different, every
Yeah.
month. So if you take that blood to the earth and just a small amount and give it to her,
Mhm.
right? It's like
Mhm.
you really are realigning yourself. And so I'm just very grateful. Well,
Yes.
Tamika, thank you so much for coming and being with
Thank
us. Tell
you.
everyone where they can find you.
You can find me on Facebook as IAMAH, Tamika Vancia. Also here on Instagram, Mind Body Intimacy Digest. I run a program for men and women that is a body transformation program based on you learning how to shift your body with your mind and stepping into really moving the trauma, the pain, and all of that stuff that's within us. When I speak of body transformation, I am not just solely talking about weight loss. I am talking about transformation in the spirit, in your emotions, in your mental, and your physical spaces. And so, if you would love to be a part of that type of community where you get to do the deeper work around unraveling yourself, you can inbox me here on IG or you can meet me on Facebook. I also can be reached at www.healingfem, HEALINGFEM.com. That's my website. So
Mm.
thank you so much, Monique, for having me.
I'm so happy to have you here. And I really want people to understand that when you begin to create a conscious relationship with your body, like the
Mhm.
results that I have had are remarkable. Once I had a lump the size of a golf ball that I had a friend of mine just did body work on me and it went away. Like
Mhm.
literally your body will respond to you, and all this cutting and medicines and diseases and all this sort of stuff. It's unnecessary. It's because we're not in a relationship to our
Yes.
bodies.
Yes. It's like I said before, we don't have the environmental and the internal environments to really be healthy. But
Yes.
it's up to you individually, though, to figure out what that is for you. It's no longer, we're no longer culturally connected in a way where food and culture and all that kind of serves the body in that way. It's now an individual responsibility. You can't depend on your culture to make sure that you're going to be okay. So how can you be the individual that you are in your health? What's your health uniqueness? What's your own personal food culture? How do you express yourself in movement? What is that really about for you? And so it goes beyond just, hey, let's count some points and let's lose some weight. We gotta get into really discovering who we are as humans. And that's what I teach you about. I teach you about the 9 powers that you hold within yourself to transform. I teach you about the 9 aspects of who you truly are. And we are talking about simple things such as imagination,
Yes.
your intuition, you
Yes.
know, your ability to lead your own life. These are things that it's just very simple concepts that I've learned within my spiritual community that I truly love and would love to share with the world. But Monique shares it here on her platform. There are millions, there are thousands of humans now doing the same. Plug
Yes.
in. You can be the next person to help us. Come on. You got
Yeah.
something. It's medicine in us all. So, come on and join us as we move this planet forward.
Wow. You said there's medicine in us all.
Yes.
I love
Yeah,
it.
that's what I teach in
I
Body
love
Bliss.
it.
I love to teach from a space that we all are the gurus. There's
Yes.
no special guru anymore. There's not a savior coming, baby. That's another thing, Black people.
Right.
The savior isn't coming.
Yeah.
Malcolm and the Malcolms and the Martins, you are the Malcolm and the Martin. And right here in your space, in your community, in your family, in yourself, it's time to be the dream, be the
That's right.
revolution,
That's right.
be the change, whatever that is, and how you can express it daily. You do not have to be, on a podium in front of thousands down in DC to have an impact.
That's right.
I walk my community and pray. Nobody knows. But one day, one of my neighbors, I don't even know where he lives in his subdivision. One day he drove up to me and he said, "Thank you. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for the work you do. I see you." So we
Mm-hmm.
just never know, it's just all just join in our own way.
That's right.
And you have your way. So, and
That's
I would love to see more people and their medicine come forward.
right.
Hmm.
Ashe. I love.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being my friend. Thank you for being committed to your own healing and transformation. Thank you for your brilliance. You are so brilliant.
Thank you, Mama.
All right, y'all. I want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you for your donations. If you benefit from the work that I do here, you can donate at Cash App, which is $ Monique Ruffin,
Yes.
Venmo, Monique Ruffin. Or just, I love you. Send me your music playlist, whatever it is. It's all good. I'm open. It's all about the energy and the abundance. So let we just keep it rolling. All right, you all. Peace and blessings. Have a really beautiful day. I'll talk to you later,
Yes.
Tamika.
Alrighty. Peace, everyone.